Hey, this is Klein Hall of Klein Hall Agency in Greenville, North Carolina. We're an independent insurance agency representing several companies. This video is going to be a little longer than the others. In fact, I'm going to call it a webinar. It is a first-time home buyers webinar. I know when I came out of college, I had a degree in finance. I needed 2 more classes to have a degree in accounting, yet I didn't know how to buy a house. So we're going to go through several steps in buying a house. Hopefully I'll help you out a little bit. Step 1, you need to check with a mortgage broker. A mortgage broker is the guy that's going to get the loan for you. The reason you need to do that first of all is you need to decide how much you can afford. Nothing worse than finding your dream home and then realizing you can't afford it. You'll just be disappointed. You need to go talk to the mortgage broker and see what you can afford. They're going to consider how much money you make, how many assets you have, what your credit is. Now, we work with several mortgage brokers here in the area in North Carolina. We'll be happy to refer some to you. You're going to learn a lot about your life that maybe you've never considered when you speak to this mortgage broker. One thing you can consider is your credit. Maybe that needs to be step before 1, whatever becomes step 0 before 1. You need to get your credit right. There are some good websites that help you with that if you don't understand credit. There's Clark.com, that's Clark Howard. There's DaveRamsey.com. Get a lot of good information there. They have a mortgage calculator on there. And then also you might want to go to mint.com that helps you with budgeting and such. Those are good things to get your credit right. It will have a huge difference on what kind of house you can purchase. Another thing you're going to learn about when you're talking to the mortgage broker is called PMI. That's private mortgage insurance. You may not be aware of this, but if you don't put enough money down on your house, say less than 20%, there's going to be an extra payment. That's called private mortgage insurance. What that does is that guarantees that if you go bad on the loan, you don't pay your loan, that the company that has loaned it, the bank or the entity that has loaned it, will get their money back. Okay, step 2. I really think you need to get a realtor. I know some people have bought houses on their own, and if you've bought some in the past, maybe you'd be okay with that. But if this is your first time, you need to get a realtor. I know some people think that, well, they get a lot of commission for nothing. That's not true. They're getting paid for their expertise. Again, we work with several realtors. We'll be happy to refer somebody to you. But what the realtor is going to bring to the table is they know the location you're in. They know what neighborhood you should buy in or maybe you should stay away from. They know what the market is. In some markets, you have to pay over the asking price to get a house. In some markets, you can go way below the asking price. They'll know that. They'll guide you through that process. They also are familiar with negotiating. So many times it's a negotiation process. There's also a lot of paperwork, legal paperwork that you're bound to. If you fill it out wrong, you can be in big trouble. You want somebody who's done it before to help you with that. So select a realtor. Step 3, after you've figured out how much you can pay, you've gotten a realtor, and now you've picked out your house. You like your house, you made an offer on it. They accepted your offer. To get an offer accepted, you've got to give what is called some earnest money, maybe $500 or $1,000, that says, hey, I want to buy this house, here's some money, I'm going to buy it. Well, lots of times, and should be always, contingent with your offer is pending a good inspection of the property. Meaning, if the property has some major problems with it, you can back out. Now, how you tell that is you hire a home inspector. Again, I work with a couple home inspectors. Be happy to refer them to you. They will go and look at your home. They're experts at this. They look at them all the time. They understand how homes are built, how systems work, like your HVAC system, your plumbing system, all that kind of stuff. They'll crawl under your house. They'll look and see if there's any rot underneath it. They'll look at rot on the outside of the house. They'll look at your roof. They'll look at your heating and air conditioning. They'll look at your electricity. They'll give you a report and say, here's what needs to be done, A, B, C, D. These things need to be done to bring the house up to snuff, so to speak. And then you can go back to the the seller. You're the buyer. You can go back to the seller and say, here, I'm going to buy the house, but you fix this stuff. Again, a home inspector, they're very vital in buying a house. Step 4, this is where I come in. Insurance. It's a big part of your budget when buying a house. Please don't just call the guy that's got your auto insurance and say, hey, how much is this house going to be? Why don't you shop around? If you've seen any of my other videos, you know how high I am on being an independent agent. I am an independent agent. I have several different companies that look at things different. I have one company may not like you, but another company does. They look at different realms of credit and age and stuff. So if you come to me for your first home, I can look at different companies to find you the best rate. This is something that's going to affect you for the life of your loan, life at the time you own the home. The bank requires you to have insurance, and they're going to require you to get it. They don't care what you pay for it. They just require you get it. And if you get it with a company that's costing too much, every year it's going to renew, and you're not even going to see it renew. We'll talk about that in a minute. So you want to make sure you're with a good, reputable company with a local agent who can take care of you. Also, you need to check about flood insurance. The first house I bought, I got to closing and found out I was in a flood zone. And all of a sudden I had to come up with $400 more at closing to buy a flood policy. Now you can get on the internet in most of the counties and look up the tax record and find if you're in a flood zone. I'll try to put the bottom down here what the location is in Pitt County, where most of our clients are, where you can look and see and put down what the flood zone is, and it will tell you if you're in a flood zone. If you're in a flood zone, you're going to need to spend some more money for an elevation certificate. We'll talk about that in a minute to determine how much your flood insurance would be. Finally, the last step, I'm going to call that closing costs and closing attorney. You need to get an attorney to close your loan. What that means is to settle the legal agreement to buy the house. You're buying from one person, they're selling it to you, you're getting a loan from a bank, you're getting a title. There's a lot of stuff done. I have seen it done inside some mortgage offices, but I'd rather have an attorney. I'd rather have somebody that really has the training of this to do it. Again, I work with several closing attorneys that can help you. But some things they're going to go through is they're going to do a title search. They're going to check and see if that house can be legally sold. Sometimes somebody did some work on it and the prior owner didn't pay for it, and if you buy it, you're going to pick up that debt. They're going to check on that. They're going to get something called title insurance. That costs, I think, about $100. That says that if something were to happen later on where there was a previous lien on the title, lien meaning somebody owed some money, that you're taking care of. It's not your responsibility. They're also going to get all your closing costs together. They're going to give you something called a HUD statement. HUD stands for Housing and Urban Development, the Department of Housing and Urban Development. Then you can look it up online, just Google HUD statement, it'll show you what it looks like. And it's going to show what the seller's expenses are, what the buyer's, you're being the buyer, the buyer's expenses are, and how much you have to come up with closing. Some of the expenses you may not be aware of, well, the homeowners we talked about, you've got to pay the first year in advance. The insurance company doesn't want that, but the mortgage does, because they want to know that you've got to pay for a year, so if it burns down in 6 months, they're taken care of. If you've got flood insurance, they want that paid ahead in a year. Then they're going to do what's called prepays. They're going to take a couple months worth of your property taxes. So what happens is your mortgage company builds an escrow account normally. Escrow meaning it's kind of a holding tank for your money. They're going to take money out of your payment every month, and they're going to put it in their escrow account. You can go online and look at your statement and say, hey, I've got $4,000 in escrow, I must be rich. No, it's not really money you get to spend. It's money being saved to pay your taxes when they come due. That's a big expense. You can look online and see what the taxes were for a property normally. Like an average house in Pitt County is probably $3,000 a year. They're going to save money for the taxes, and they're also going to save money for the insurance. So in that opening statement, they're probably going to take about 2 months budget worth of your taxes, your insurance, and then they'll start taking it on a monthly basis. Closing attorneys, I'm going to guess $400 or $500. The inspection, $200, $300, $400. Those are all you need to consider in your budget. A lot of this stuff you can put in the closing cost, or rather, I mean to say, you can finance it with your loan. We're in Pitt County. We work all over North Carolina. If we can help you, we're going to refer you a mortgage broker. We're going to refer you realtors. We're going to refer you inspectors. Give us a call, and we also want to help you with insurance. We're Klein Hall Agency. We're in Greenville, North Carolina. We're at 905 East Arlington Boulevard. We're on the web at kleinhallagents.com, and you can find us also by phone, 252-756-5200. Be sure to subscribe to our channel to get more videos. Thank you.